Seated.
Okay, we will now have the offering of incense, and we invite all the Sangha members in attendance to offer incense. Please come up and offer incense if you wish, starting in the front rows and moving to the back, and please use both incense burners. Let us now observe a moment of silent meditation and remember the victims of August 6, 1945, the atomic bombing of Hiroshima, and a few days later, Nagasaki.
Namanam, 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 namandavts, namandavts, namandavts.
Reverend Blaine will now lead us in the chanting of the Sutra Jushige. Words can be found on page 55 in the Jodo Shinshu service booklet and on your screen. So again, page 55 of the Jodo Shinshu service booklet.
The Buddha of infinite light and life made vows to embrace all beings equally without exception. These vows promise to create a perfect world where no suffering or evil exists and guides us to supreme awakening. The Jusei-ge, or verses reaffirming the vows, is a poetic summary of the basic intention of the 48 vows made by me, the Buddha, to attain supreme enlightenment, to save all who are suffering, and to declare universal salvation through the name Namo Amida Butsu. We chant the words of the Buddha as a reminder of these great vows of compassion made to liberate and to awaken all beings. The verses reaffirming the vows, Busetsu, Mudoju Kyo, Jusei-ge. Saido Shoujo Sankumyo 教祭主役難外非知恵言滅死根もわん閉塞小悪道通達全主門ご相乗満蔵いよろじぽ日月主寿期天根不言一種解放像五世苦読法上大主寿世法師師具具用意細部具足主徳本元年春上満徳位三害用両仏無下地津達未不詳願学上理都市最小尊志願や国家大戦の感動国書天人東宇珍妙言ナマンナムナマンナムナマンナムナマンナムナマンナムナマンナム願にしぐどく平等性祭道本もない心お上安なナマンナブナマンナブナマンナブナマンナブナマンナブナマンナブナマンナブナマンダブツナマンダブツナマンダブツナマンナマンダブツナマン
Please rise for the Gata Living Gratefully. Words can be found on the handouts and on your screen. And please sing along with Betty. So I think everybody got the words.
Okay, there's no organist today, so those of you who come to church regular, you know this tune by heart. So sing out loud so those who are not familiar can follow along, okay? Otherwise, I'm going to make you sing it twice. Okay? Ready, go. Let's all live in harmony, trying to live as one. All of us together always, living life with Buddha's love. Hand in hand we move along. Let's all live in peace. Strive to be the best we can, living gratefully. Kindness to every living thing, showing our gratitude, loving all our friends and family, showing thanks for all they do. Hand in hand we move along. Let's all live in peace. Strive to be the best we can, living gratefully. Good job. I didn't just hear myself. Thank you.
And I know that Mr. Hosokawa, even if you couldn't read the words, you're probably humming along, yeah? Very musically. Please be seated. Okay, thank you very much, Betty. Okay, this morning I am honored to introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Tadashi Hosokawa. So Mr. Hosokawa, I've known him probably going on for like 13, 14, 15 years, and it's always a pleasure when he comes to Kona and he, visits with us. Helping him today is going to be his daughter-in-law, Shiori Hosokawa. She will interpret for him. So Mr. Hosokawa was born in 1947. He turned 76 years old this year. He looks very young. He's 76 years old. He is the founder of Delica Wing Company Limited and has been leading the firm as the president and CEO for 50 years. Can you imagine that he was 20-something years old when he started that company? He is currently the acting chairman of the board of directors. He was also chairman of the Hatsukaichi Chamber of Commerce and Industry for 12 years, from 2007 to 2019. And currently he serves as their honorary chair. During his time as chairman, he established a friendship with the Kona Kohala Chamber of Commerce and was instrumental in creating a sister chamber relationship with them. And that's his big connection to Kona, is the Kona Kohala Chamber of Commerce. He also has held or holds multiple other positions, including chairman of the Hatsukaichi City Board of Education and the Chugoku Region New Business Conference. He is president of the local radio station FM Hatsukaichi. He holds a special visiting professor role at Hiroshima Shudo University and many more. Under the pen name of Sozai Tsubasa, or Delica Wing in English, he is also a novelist and a lyrist. In the fall of 2016, he received the Order of the Rising Sun Gold Rays with rosette from the Emperor of Japan at that time. So please give a warm aloha welcoming Mr. Tadashi Hosokawa.
61年前、私は広島一中を継承する広島国体寺高校サッカー部に入部し、 懸命にボールを追っていました。3年間ほぼ毎日休むことなく夢中になって走り回っていたのに、なぜか脳裏に浮かぶのは決まって真夏のグラウンドです。
61 years ago, I joined a soccer club at Hiroshima Kokutaiji High School, a former Hiroshima First High School. Since then, I had been absorbed in chasing the ball. I was running around the ground without any breaks almost every day for 3 years. But it has been always a ground in midsummer that comes up in my mind.
灼熱の太陽に照らされたグラウンドは陽光を鋭角に弾き返し、スタンドの芝生は夏の日差しを吸収して燃え、生い茂るプラタナスの葉は木陰を提供してくれました。そして7日の命を燃やして鳴くセミの声がこだまする青空には入道雲が湧き起こっていました。
The ground, illuminated by the burning sun, sharply flashed back the sunlight. The grass in the stands absorbed the summer sunlight to grow. The lush leaves of the platanus trees gave us shade, while the sound of cicadas, burning the limited 7 days of their lives, echoed in the blue sky with gigantic thunderclouds growing behind.
その光景は昔も今も変わっていませんが、78年前の夏だけは違っていました。1945年8月6日8時15分、私が通っていたと同じ学び屋が一瞬にして地獄と化し、苦悶のうちに357名の少年の命が失われたのです。
The scene was and remains the same, but it was different in summer 78 years ago. On August 6, 1945, at 8:15 a.m., the school that I attended turned into a hell in an instant, and the lives of 357 students were mourned in anguish.
爆心地から1マイル離れた広島一中の校舎内において被爆した少年たちの中で奇跡的に生存されたわずかな方の一人から私は直接お話を聞いたことがあります。被爆直後の崩れた暗い校舎の中で湧き起こった父や母を呼ぶ叫び声がいつしか歌声に変わっていったそうです。
At the Hiroshima First High School, which was 1 mile away from the hypocenter of the atomic bombing, I have once heard about a tragedy from one of the miraculous survivors of the A-bombed students. Right after the A-bombing, the school building was destroyed and filled with those students' cries for their fathers and mothers, and in darkness. But after a while, the sound of their voices changed into the singing.
地上の夕べ雨白く花らんまんの色あせて三笹の水に春ゆくもおごりの夢はなお覚めず。不安と苦しみの中でもだえる少年たちの心の支えとなった歌は今も私たちが歌い継いでいる応援歌でした。
The song had the healing power for those writing in agony. It was the cheering song of the high school that we still sing today.
地獄の苦しみの中で母校の応援歌こそが彼らにとって最後の生きるよすがだったのです。しかしその歌声もやがてはついえ357名の命が消えていったそうです。
The cheering song of their motto school was the last edge of their life in the agony of the hell. In a little while, however, their singing voices eventually faded away, together with the 357 precious lives.
人は誰も死んでいくのが常理とはいえ、決して10代や20代の若さで死んではなりません。短すぎる残酷な死をもたらすのは病気であり、災害であり、戦争であり、核兵器です。
It is the law of the world that we are born and we die. But none of us should die in our teens nor 20s. It is diseases, disasters, wars, and nuclear weapons that bring about untimely and cruel deaths.
自然界がもたらす病気や災害による死は、人類の英知を結集して懸命に防ごうとする一方で、核兵器や戦争は人間が人間を殺戮することを目的として製造され、実行されているのです。グローバル化が進展し、AI の時代になっても、なぜに人間はこれほど愚かなのでしょう。
We try to combine the wisdom of mankind to avoid death from diseases or disasters, which are brought about by the mother nature. While human beings never stop producing nuclear weapons, nor stop executing wars to kill mankind. We are now living in a globalized world surrounded by the artificial intelligence. But why are we, human beings, such stupid creatures?
残念なことに近年、排他的な民族主義が台頭し、国と国、民族と民族との関係に軋轢が生じ、生命の尊厳が脅かされています。こんな時代だからこそ、志半ばに尊い命を失われた先人の思いを受け継ぎ、国や民族にとらわれることなく、生命の尊厳を大切に守っていかねばならないと考えます。
Unfortunately, exclusive democracy is on rise for the last few decades, and frictions amongst the countries and peoples are growing to threaten the dignity of a life. And as we live in such a world today, we have to pass down the important messages from those mourned in youth and halfway, and protect the dignity of life regardless of any boundaries.
そして世界初の被爆地、広島に生きる者の使命として、その悲惨さを後世に伝え、世界の平和を創造する先駆けになることを改めてお誓い申し上げ、追悼の言葉とします。
Living in the world's first A-bombed site, Hiroshima, we have a mission to pass on the important messages from the tragedy to future generations. Here I express my sincere condolences to the victims and swear to carry out the mission as a forerunner to create peace.
2023年8月6日、広島県廿日市市在住、細川忠。
Thank you very much, Mr. Hosokawa, for your very important message about peace. And I don't know, when he was singing, even not knowing the words he's singing, I had chicken skin, and I don't know about the rest of you, because there was a kind of important message in that song. Okay, so now I'd like to call on our Hiroshima Kenjinkai member, Carol Zaikahi. She will lead the reading of the Shinshu Pledge. And you can find the Shinshu Pledge on this handout. And it's also on the screen for the people on Zoom.
I take my refuge in the vow of the Buddha Reciting the name, I will live through life with strength and serenity. I revere the light of the Buddha. I will put my effort in my work with self-reflection and gratitude. I follow the teachings of the Buddha, discerning the right path. I will spread the true Dharma. I rejoice in the compassion of the Buddha. I will respect and help others and do my best for the welfare of humankind. Namo Amida Butsu.
Thank you very much, Carol. Now we will have the offertory presentation by Mr. Hosokawa's granddaughters, Mana Tanaka and Lino Hosokawa. And mahalo everybody for your generosity. Thank you very much, Mana and Lino. I would like now to call up Bobby Kaman to say a few words on behalf of Mayor Mitch Roth.
Hello, everyone. I know this is a solemn occasion, but I feel really tall today. It's kind of an inside joke at the Daifukuji. Anyway, on behalf of the mayor and the people of the County of Hawaii, it's an honor and a privilege to be here today. 2 weeks before the Hiroshima bomb, a young girl was walking in another part of Japan that hadn't been touched by American bombs, walking to school, and on that day was their unlucky day. She began to hear planes coming, and she stood on a hill in her hometown and watched the bombs fall and burn up part of her city. At one point, one of the planes came so low and so close to her that she could see the pilot's face. That young lady was my mother. And I only bring this up because it illustrates how close that Hiroshima bombing was, how recent it was in our history. And it's a few years, it's one generation beyond me. My mother was in Japan during that time. I appreciate the service today and the observance and the ceremony, because it's only through these types of ceremonies that we convince our leaders that peace, I saw your sign there, is the only way to go. Again, it's an honor and a privilege to be here to say a few words on behalf of the mayor and the County of Hawaii. Mahalo. O kagesama de.
And I'm short, so. So now, thank you, Bobby. But we'll conclude this service with singing of the Gata Nembutsu. Please rise.
Now
Namandavts, 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 namandavts.
Please be seated. So this concludes today's Hiroshima Remembrance Service. But before I talk about, the usual church announcements, I just wanted to share another announcement. This is for students, junior and high school students of Hiroshima. And you notice here we have the 1,000 cranes, and I'm sure everybody knows that the 1,000 cranes, represent Sadako Sasaki, and not just her wish, to get better, but also her wish for world peace. So Ayako Sasaki has shared this, so if anybody would like to help these students on their campaign, so this is for the abolition of nuclear war weapons. It's a signature campaign, and it's a campaign, they're not saying we shouldn't have wars, although that's what we wish for, but it's more to, they're asking the world, do not target the cities in which we live. So don't use your nuclear weapons on cities where there are humankind. And in accordance with the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and the Hiroshima-Nagasaki Protocol for a Nuclear Weapons Convention, they're asking you to sign, this petition. And again, Ayako has this petition, so please, if you believe that, we should not have wars, especially nuclear wars, we shouldn't be bombing cities where people are living in, please see Ayako. And Ayako, thank you very much for sharing the 1,000 cranes from the Kona Hiroshima Kenjinkai. So the upcoming schedule of events. So first of all, there will be no Sunday service here at the Kona Honganji for the next 2 Sundays. So on August 13th and August 20th, there's no service here, but on August 13th, the Holualoa Temple is having a service at 10 o'clock. So you folks can go to the Holualoa Temple 10 o'clock on Sunday, August 13th for a service. On Sunday, August 27th, and this is very important, the service is going to be at 9 o'clock. Okay, so remember, not 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock a.m. on August 27th. It will be a Zoom meeting, Zoom service with the Hawaii District, and it will be hosted by the Hompa Honganji Hilo Betsuin. The guest speaker will be Dr. Jeff Wilson from the University of Waterloo in Canada. So you can choose to Zoom, or you can come to the church and watch the service online. I'm sorry, you can watch the service online at home or come to the church. And after the service, you can also participate or have refreshments. Okay, so remember, this is Sunday, August 27th. It's going to be 9 o'clock and not 10 o'clock. Okay, again, on Sunday, September 3rd, it will be our regular Dharma family service, and this will be held at 10 o'clock. And the speaker that day will be none other than our Darren Katayama. Other reminders, so please be sure to open, read, and click on attachments and interesting links that were included with Reverend Blaine's weekly update, which he emailed this past Friday. The 2023 Temple membership update forms have been mailed out and are also attached to Reverend Blaine's email. Please be sure to complete and return them as soon as possible. Mahalo. And free COVID test kits with expiration dates in October 2023 are still available. Please help yourself because COVID, unfortunately, is still lurking in our community. Is there any other announcements? Reverend Blake? Linda?
Not really announcement, just to touch on what Claudia just said. On August 13th at Hololoa, those of you who have been there before, remember how difficult it was to walk up to the temple? Well, as of Friday, we have about 3-4 feet cement walkway from the bottom all the way up. And the first step up is not 15 inches or 24 inches, but it's only about 6 inches. And then if you cannot really go up steps, then you can go around and in between, so even if you have difficulty walking. But we just had that completed on Friday. So please come and visit, because this is a temple that's kind of like was hidden away. And when we opened it up, it was like it was preserved in time. So the Hololoa members of the BWA came and polished the altar arrangements, and you'll see it. It will be like something came out of history, out of the treasures. So it's really, really nice. So if you can, next Sunday, yeah, 10 o'clock, I forgot. And then on the 27th, please come, because I might be the only one here opening up the temple. I don't want to be all alone. So don't Zoom at home. Come and join me here. So hopefully some of you will join us here, and then we can have refreshments after and talk story. And those that are playing ukulele, maybe we can do a ukulele jam at that time. Thank you.
Now, thank you, Linda. So any other announcements, Reverend Blaine? Not, then thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you to the Hosokawa Ohana for being our guest today. To our Sangha, mahalo for being in person and for your virtual attendance. For those of you on Zoom, you may leave at any time. Those of you here today, refreshments will be served in the social hall. And thank you very much to the members of the Kona Hiroshima Kenjinkai who brought goodies to share. Please be safe, and we look forward to seeing you at our future services. Mahalo.